want to half-ass anything that I do, you know? Like, I just want to be the best at it, and I don't know if that's like I don't know what that's a byproduct of, dude, but I just am, like, super focused. It's just, it matters to me. It fucking matters to me. There's no part of, like, that's how I run the business end of everything, too, is it's just, like, I want to be involved in everything. Like, I fucking hate when I see artists do that. Like, I don't know, I got a guy for that. I got a motherfucker, I'm the guy for that. And if you do talk to a guy, I'm going to talk to him before you talk to him. I'm going to tell him what to say, you know?
How much of an evolution has it been learning that business side and being able to be comfortable handling that?
I grew up selling drugs, so this shit's mad easy, dude. Super easy. There's no consequence to it, really. Like, you make a wrong decision, and it's like...
Don't do that again.
Don't do that again. Cool. You know, I mean, I was never phenomenal at it or anything, but, like, I have a pretty solid understanding of hierarchies and how they work and how far work ethic and skill go. And, you know, sometimes neither of those things matter at all in the music entertainment industry. So that's probably the most frustrating thing to get over, is when you see people that suck do well. But, you know, I have a really cool balance. My relationship with my manager is really good because he's like the opposite of me. I like, you know, he grew up with his parents are like two of the coolest people ever, but just like very music loving. And he's one of those cats that knew he wanted to be a manager when he was young. But we're the same age, but he has a completely different, you know, he grew up with like with a little bit of money. So he doesn't have this, like, you know, there's a guy that owed us money the other week, and we both obviously have very different approaches of how it was to be handled. And so we play off each other really well, where it's just like, I go here, he goes here, and then we meet in the middle, and we're like, okay, cool, I'll be like this. So yeah, I've been blessed to have great people around me, and Trevor, Franti, Nako. I have just like countless people that I can call, you know. Especially Trev and Franti, man. Those dudes never don't pick up the phone. You know, Franti is always on tour and working on 3 documentaries and a new single, and still hits me back, you know. So, yeah, I'm blessed to have good counsel.
So talking about that laser focus and just knowing, like, this is my deal, I'm here to do this, do you get nervous at all?
That's what I was going to ask.
Before I play?
Yeah. Nah, this is it. This is my purpose.
Yeah, man, I kind of am just like everything else that I do. I'm just kind of fucking around until I get to do that again. So, yeah, I mean, that minute right before we get on stage is this, like I get a little bit of butterflies, but it's not butterflies like, ooh, I'm nervous. It's like I feel this, like, ooh, like it's like building up and I'm ready to let it out. But that's my, like, I don't know when it happened because I used to get nervous. I think it was when we did those few tours. We did like almost a whole year with Franti. And I think seeing him, and like regardless of the size of the crowd or wherever the hell we were or whatever the conditions, like he just goes out hot, dude. And from the second he steps on to the second he steps off, he's putting on a show. And I just really, like, the past couple of years have like stepped into that, you know, and like, yeah, I don't second. It's the only place that I don't second guess anything that I'm doing. I just like do. So I don't really get nervous anymore. It's like my happy place.
Do you have like a pre-show ritual?
Yeah, I pray right before I go on and just say thanks that this is my life and that it's real. And usually try to take a minute with the dudes, you know, and say a little something. But yeah, for me, right before I go on, I always like close my eyes and I'm just like, man, you know, it was like, you remember that movie Walk Hard, where he just like lives his whole life story. You know, again, I don't know if it's the chip or whatever, you know, but I never. It's a dream, man. It's a fucking dream to me, because as much as I wanted it when I was a kid and all that, you know, there's lots of people that want lots of shit. There's lots of people that wanted to grow up and like I said, dude, you know, we sell 200, 300, 400 tickets a night if we're lucky. And I still am just like beyond grateful for it, man. It fucking blows me away. So the fact that that's what I do to feed my family, I get to go play songs I wrote in front of people that want to hear songs I wrote with my best friends. Yeah, I say thanks. That's what I do before I get on stage, is I say thanks.
You're literally living the dream.
Yes. Yes. Actual. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't ever want to lose sight of that. So, like, gratitude is my main prayer. It's like, thanks. Super grateful.
Have you ever come across people that have lost sight of that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people do, man, especially when you're drinking and chasing girls and doing drugs. It's like, dude, that debauchery shit, man. I see cats. It's an easy thing. Drugs and alcohol are the peace offering in the music industry. Like, oh, good job, you made it here. Become intoxicated. Good job. So it's like, yeah, you see people get caught in that cycle. They don't even know what they're doing. They're just like in this like autopilot where it's like, bro, you're fucking playing in front of 1,000 people a night. Like, how are you not here for this? You know what I mean, dude? Be here for this. And it's going to go away. It doesn't matter how fucking big you are or how sustainable you think your career is. This is the entertainment industry, man. Whether you're an actor or a singer, whatever, it's a day, man. You got some time while that sun's out, and I'll be damned if I'm going to be fucking and not remember it. Like, that's wild. So yeah, man, I see a lot of people that I don't believe are in it. I don't even think they think about it. They're just like, oh yeah, this is just what I do. Not for me.
I don't know if we asked you this on the last podcast, but what's your daily ritual? What's your daily practice to kind of keep you honed? And I know you said you battled alcoholism. Like, how do you negate that, being on the road, being around all that?
I don't even think about it anymore, man. I just am like, it just doesn't even pop in my head. Like, I think I've just structured my life in such a way that I don't even have to think about it anymore. Like, you know, when I'm on the road, it's different. You know, because we usually wake up and drive. I make it a point to exercise at least 5 days a week. Drink way more coffee than I should on the road. But yeah, when I'm home, you know, I'm kind of trying to evolve my ritual, because what I've found is that I wake up like 6:30. I try to have like an hour or so before everyone else in my house is up, because we got a baby and other kids, and so I try to wake up before everyone else to have a little bit of time. But literally, I make coffee and then I like dive right into work. You know, like I'm on my computer and my phone within like 3 minutes of being awake, and I recognize that that's not good. So I'm trying to adjust that. But yeah, man, when I'm home, it's different, because I'm typically with the baby all day on days that I don't train. And then wife gets home, we all do dinner together, and then usually when everyone goes to bed is when I go to the gym at night.
Night owl.
Yeah. There's this one other guy that goes there too, and we've like never said a word to each other, but every time we see each other, we're like,
That's awesome.
fuck yeah, getting it at 10:30. Yeah. Yep.
So I know you probably have fans, people telling you, oh, this is my favorite song of Satsang. What's your favorite Satsang song?
So far.
Right
yeah,
on.
Reason being, like I said, usually I write really fast. You know, the quick story behind that song was the first verse was written right before we did our first run of shows with Franti. So we had done a few shows with him in Florida, and then we found out that he offered us the rest of the year. So it was like, you know, and I spent all but like $17 in my account to get to Florida to play these shows with Franti, because in my mind I was like, okay, well, we're playing this venue in St. Pete where the green room is on a balcony. There's no way he's not going to watch our set. If he watches our set, there's no way he's not going to want us to open for him. That's a lot. That's a lot of fucking chips to put in on that hand, and I put all of them in, and that's what happened. So the first verse was written within 15 minutes after finding out that Michael Franti wanted us to go on tour with him. Then went touring so hard that my relationship with my wife and my kids was strained. I didn't have any sense of identity. Our band member quit via email after we just played 2 huge shows with Trevor Hall. The agency that sat me and my wife and my children down and told me that they build lifelong careers and that they wanted to work with me for the rest of my career fucking dropped me 3 weeks after I told them that I was having a baby.
Oof.
So fall of 17, it all hit the fan.
Hit the motherfucking fan. And I was just like, it's the closest I come to quitting. So I told everybody. I told Carl, my management, I was like, I'm taking 6 months off. I don't know what's going to happen after this, but I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I felt so betrayed. I felt so angry. You know, for a dude that already admittedly has a chip on his shoulder, for all that shit to happen at one time, I was just like, man, fuck everybody. And then I went to the grindhouse and I started training, and we didn't have an agent. So my managers booked these headline shows for us in these smaller clubs. We had no idea what was going to happen. We're just like, all right, I guess we'll go back on tour and we'll fucking see what happens. And we sold out all but 4 shows. And it was just kind of this like, whoa, you know? And I went from like the deepest depression of my life to giving my life to martial arts for 6 months to having my son, and then to go back out and be received by everyone and be like, we have fans now? What the fuck? We have fans? And I had left this verse vacant because there was like 3 or 4 different artists that I wanted to be on so far, and we were in Asheville, North Carolina, and I was like, fuck this, man, I'll write a verse right now. And I did, and I wrote verse 2. So it was like, it's the only song I've ever written in my life with this like huge disparity and almost a year between verses, you know, over a year between verses. And what I went through between verse 1 and verse 2, like I listen to that song still and I just like, man, and that's really my baby laughing in there, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, everything about that song, man, it means so much to me.
When that song was released, we had just got back to Denver from Jersey. We had some stuff going on. We didn't know where we were going to live. We both weren't in the best moods, and I was listening to it, and you were popping me with the lyrics. Oh, man, Grindhouse. Oh, no, oh.
Yeah.
And it was just, yeah, that song speaks to me, sings to me. I love that song.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's my fave. It's my favorite for sure. And everyone at the gym, man, having a Grindhouse shout-out on a song, they were, like, super fucking stoked on that, you know?
So before we get out of here, we're running out of time, unfortunately. There were some studio issues. If there's anything you want the people to know about Drew, let them know here and let them know where they can find you and what's going on.
First thing you should know about Drew is if you come up to meet me at a show or something like that, like sometimes I meet people that are like nervous to meet me. That trips me out because I'm like a very, very imperfect dude. I'm dedicated to working on myself, but I'm like a super imperfect dude. I probably struggle with all the same shit you do. Probably more because my brain is such a mess. Yeah, man, very grateful. I'm fucking grateful to be here. I'm grateful to sit down and talk with y'all. Like I said, I'm huge fans of what you guys are doing, and for anyone that listens to our music, like, you literally have you make my life happen. It's how I take care of my family. It's how I breathe. So thank you. You can find us on Instagram at Satsang Movement, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all that jazz. And go to satsangmovement.com, see if we're coming to your town, because we undoubtedly will.
Awesome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, man.
It was awesome. Awesome finally meeting you. Thank you for being you, dude.
Back at you guys.
Appreciate it. I saw you jump up there, too. when So thank you.
Yeah, no, I got to pee really bad. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. Nah, there'll be none of that, dude. There'll be none of that.
That made my day.